4D Venus Flytrap Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a 4D Venus flytrap nail art design. So the leaf opens up like this and then you can see there's a little fly inside of it. And so it's a really fun, just kind of a very simple design as far as like the look of it, but then you can open that up and there's a little hidden snack inside. So I hope you guys like this design as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe, see all my future videos as well.
So I'm going to begin with an overlay of a melon color acrylic, kind of a light peachy melon color. I decided to go with something that is, since my Venus flytrap is going to be that really kind of a bright red color and green, I wanted it to be something that would contrast really well. Then I'm going to encase that with a layer of clear acrylic. A different color that you could use would be like a light purple or something along those lines. I just thought that the peach went really well with my green color, so I decided to go that route. After it's encased, you're going to want to file it into shape with your e-file. I started out with a very coarse bit to remove any bulk, especially on this particular shape of full cover tip that I have. It seems like it just lends itself to becoming really thick, so I don't know what the deal is there, but file that to get rid of any bulk, and then switch to a much finer bit to remove any little scratches that first file may have left behind. So now I'm going to take, and I have some dark green thread, and I'm going to trim it into 12 little pieces. And then after I have all of my little thread pieces, I'm going to set those to the side so they're nice and close by for when I'm ready for them. And going back to the nail, I'm going to start sculpting out my fly traps. So I started out with a nice green color, really bright green, really pretty green. And I'm going to begin sculpting the stem of the first fly trap. But then, because having just one is obviously not enough, you have to have a couple of them. I'm adding another small one off to the side, so there's that one stem. And then I'm going to add the little leaves to that. So just kind of pat that out into a ravioli shape. I guess that depends on what kind of ravioli. I'm thinking of like a Luna ravioli. So just a nice little half circle. That would be so much easier to say than ravioli, and then I go into the species of ravioli. I tell you, sometimes. But on your ravioli, kind of split it in half, almost like a coffee bean or a grain of rice. Yes, that would also work. Then for your 4D fly trap, you're going to want to make a much bigger version of that smaller one. So start patting it out into your little shape there, your little, I don't know what to call it now. I've got so many different options here, but just keep patting it out and make it so that it is thinner in the middle and a little bit thicker, like it's got a lip around the outside. Just work on that. And then after you have it so it's got that nice lip around it, you're going to want to take something that's kind of pokey in shape, so either a really fine dotting tool, or I'm using the back of a floss pick, and make 5 little holes along the edge of it. So that thicker area, just make 5 holes. Then take your little pieces of thread that you have next to you, put a bit of nail glue on the end of them, and stick each of them into a hole. So I know I think I said you needed 12 of these. You actually only need 5. I don't know where I came up with, or you need 10, 5 for each half of your fly trap. Yeah, do what I say, or do what I do, not what I say. Yeah, so there you go. So stick 5 of them into the holes, just like so. And they obviously do not need to be as long as the pieces of thread that I cut. I just was trimming, and I was trimming fast, and this is what happened. But they can be much shorter. The thing is, if they are shorter, they're going to be harder to hold. So it's kind of a, yeah, you have to pick. You always can trim them down later, which is what I did. So after I have them, then I'm just going to cut them down with my little manicure scissors so that they aren't nearly so long. I gave them a beginning haircut, and then I went through and I trimmed them down some more so that they were actually the length that I was going for. Then I'm going to glue a red or a burgundy bead at the base of my fly trap, right where it attaches to the stem, just like that, and then take some more acrylic, more green acrylic, and I'm going to secure it to my fly trap so it isn't, that glue is such a temporary hold. It's so easy for stuff to pop out when you're using that glue that you really do need to sort of fasten things down a little bit better with some more acrylic. And then I'm going to sculpt the other half of my leaf with some more of that green acrylic on a nail form backing. And I'm going to try to match the shape of it and the size of the one that is on the nail as close as I possibly can. So just take your acrylic, and if you're going to do it like me, hold the nail really close so that you can eyeball it very well. Then after you have that initial layer down, take your other 5 pieces of thread and lay those down just along the outside edge, just like so. And then top them with some more acrylic after you have those all pressed in. So just grab some more of that green, set that on top of there, and then just sort of, you also are going to want to round out the shape at this point. Just make it look a little bit rounder. Then take a U piece of wire, so a U-shaped little piece of wire, and you're going to want to string that through your bead and then glue that to your fly trap at the top of it. So just flip that little piece over, hold that so it's in the open position, and get that so it's in the glue, and let that just kind of sit there until it is dry. So you just have to hold it and then trim off the extra pieces of thread from that side of your fly trap. Secure that wire down with some more clear, or some more green acrylic, more green, and then fill in. So you're going to start painting. With red paint, I'm going to fill in the inside of my fly trap with really, really bright, enticing looking color so that all the little buggies are like, ooh, that looks delicious, and then they go inside there. So just fill it in. Sorry, I'm off camera here, but just paint the inside of it. That's why you used a red bead for your hinge instead of a green one, but really either one would work, so just go with either red or green. So fill that in, fill in the other side, fill in both sides. And if you want to, you can highlight the inside of your little fly trap with some orange, which is what I did. So I just blended in a little bit of orange near the edges, so close to the thread. But then I'm going to take some diluted darker green paint, some more of like a forest green or a Christmas green, and I'm going to be adding some shadowing and some shading on the stems. And I'm leaving my little fly trap open for the moment just to let that paint dry that's in there. Fill in the same red inside the little bit that you can see inside the smaller fly trap. Yeah, just a little bit, just like that. It doesn't take too much paint to add that little stripe. Then add some darker green little lines on the edges to make it look like it has those little barbs that will grab its snack. And then I'm going to take some black paint and some darker green paint, and I'm going to do some outlining. So just go through with all of that and just make it look like everything really stands out so it really shows up well against the background of the nail. And I did the background a little bit stylized, like I added some little lines and some dots and stuff to sort of fancy it up and make it look like it's really decorative, and then it's got this little secret component. So with a bright green paint, like I said, I'm going to add a couple little pulls here and there just to kind of fill in the space beneath that and really kind of, like I said, make it look very decorative. And so then you don't really expect it to be something innately vicious like a Venus flytrap. And I also use that brighter green color to highlight my fly traps that are 3D just a little bit like so. And then for the fun part, you get to paint in your little buggy on the inside of your fly trap. So I started out with black, just painting a very generic little bug shape, eyeballs, body, wings. And then I added just some highlights with gray, eyeballs with white, and then little pupils with black again. Very easy, very simple, teeny tiny little bug. It's so small that too much detail you just won't be able to do. And then apply some gel sealer in the background, so over your little swoops and over all that peach color. Cure that, and then you're also going to want to apply some inside your fly trap. I recommend doing the fly trap in 2 stages of curing so that if it happens to close in on itself, it's not going to get sealed shut. And then apply some matte top coat over your 3D fly traps, and you are all done. I think this nail is just so cool, and like I said, it's so surprising that it's a Venus fly trap because on a quick glance you just think it's kind of an interesting design. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!